Hey, everybody, stop working. It's time for a lunch break. Proudly brought to you by Groove Fishing, changing the way you do tackle. Sunline, the best fishing line on the planet. And Spro, makers of the finest tackle available. All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the lunch break. Tuesday, February 24th. Hope all you guys are doing well today. You're not working too hard. If you're lucky enough to be outside out on the water, I know it's a little chilly. It's cold as hell yesterday. What's up, Tyler Shellnut? Jeff Brazil, how you doing? Tyler already jumping right on. Says he is trying something a little different. Went and bought the Quickie fish to use as a jerkbait minnow presentation, and then the Quickie Thunder to throw on a Nico rig. We'll talk about fishing here a little bit as well because I fished this past weekend and I absolutely got my butt handed to me. And I'm actually going to use some of you guys to get some advice. Trying to find the show here on TikTok so I can pull it up. But I hope everybody's doing good. I hope everybody is doing really, really good. Did you guys see the news that just dropped? Um, One more time. There we go. Now we got the TikTok going. All right, the news that just dropped: the 2027 Bassmaster Classic is going to be on Lake Hartwell. Lake Hartwell next year, 2027. So that's close. What's up, Stephen Guthrie? And so a lot more of you guys may be able to go up there and participate in the expo or the weigh-ins and everything. Classic the Hartwell. That's right. Coleman, hey. Had a fun day Saturday. They were indeed shallow. Not where I was at. Not where I was at. We'll talk about it. But anyway, hey, listen, want to say, hey, I had a great time going up to the Noe Expo, Fishing Expo in Cartersville, Georgia. I ended up going Sunday. I had a few car problems Friday night, but went up Sunday. Tony and the guys were there Saturday and Sunday. Really cool to go into an expo and see people that listen to you, get to shake some hands, put some names with some screen names and all that. So the guys that I got to meet, if they listen to this later on, if they're watching now, absolutely enjoyed meeting you guys. Living 40 minutes from the classic has its advantages for sure. Dino, yeah, dude, it was good seeing you too, man. And that was funny as all get go. That gentleman come up and you thought he was somebody else. I got a real kick out of that. But it was a very good time. A very good time. A lot of cool stuff there. Got to go see Danny Obralo in the Brazalo's custom lure booth. I bought me a weed whacker, guys. I own a weed whacker now. I mean, I've had a weed whacker for 53 years, but now I got one I can fish with. So anyway, but again, and I know they're having their show in Greenville. I won't be going to that one. They got another one in Pensacola. Our next show that we're going to is the Bassmaster Classic in Knoxville. Tony and Tim and all the guys, we will be up there. So it's going to be a great time. Uh, the crew is going to Knoxville. We might need bail money. Is all I got to say. We might need some bail money. What's up, Geiger? Glad you can make it on time, and we'll give you kudos and pull up that comment. Coleman wants to know, how did y'all catch him, Danny? Well, we're going to talk about that because it wasn't very good for us. I will tell you how the other guys caught him, but it wasn't very good for us. Real quick, tonight, guys, this week we got the live wells this week tonight are going to be just off the chain. Off the chain. So tonight we got the Surge Squad, right? So we got Emil Wagner, Paul Marks Jr., Andrew Loberg, Tucker Smith. They're going to be on, guys, and you know how it works. You can bring your questions and comments, and you can ask them anything. We will try to squeeze some juice from. We're going to talk about, of course, life on the elites and what it's like to be a young angler, and we'll do all the things like that we're supposed to do. Get all those questions, but let's squeeze them tonight, guys. You want to know about these quickies and all these other kind of baits and everything? Let's squeeze them for some, because Lord knows I am, especially Emil and Paul. I could have used their help Saturday. But make sure you watch tonight. And then tomorrow night, we got Nick Brown and his phase fishing. What's up? Tomorrow night, Nick Brown, the MPFL. I didn't have the list in front of me. I wish he has two other guys and Hank Cherry. So I'm going to have their household tomorrow night. If everything goes good, talking to him about it. But I know Hank Cherry is staying. They got the MPFL championship this week. And I know Hank Cherry is staying with them. And as of this morning, you might get to talk to Hank Cherry tomorrow night, along with the other gentleman in the house. And then Thursday, Matt Steffen. It is going to be a good week. The kayak episode for tomorrow night, that's normally on Wednesdays, we're going to move to Friday. And so, and again, last night, Tony had, I think it's Ruth. Ruth. He had him on. It's just going to be a great week of good guests for the Livewell. Emil Wagner, yeah, and the crew. Going to try to get that shallow Lanier juice for the Barnes tournament this weekend. Absolutely. Hey, guys, just caught another 5-pounder in Sinclair. John, good Lord, son. So I guess you're not traveling dogs all over the world today. Anyway, but hey, join us tonight. Join us tonight. Now, before we get into the fishing talk, I just want to know something. If you guys knew this existed, you guys remember last week or the week before I put out a short. I was just driving down the road, and let's see, it was Lake Martin. It was a Sunday, the final day of the Lake Martin tournament on the elites, and my wife and I had that conversation about, yeah, Walton. That's why we announced that, buddy. Yeah, we're all going to go. Fish North Georgia is going to take over the Classic. And we will definitely get together on that. We will just go destroy Lake Hartwell. But you guys remember, I put out a short asking if fishing was a sport or a hobby, and I did it based upon a conversation that I had with my wife that morning. I will never, ever again question whether fishing is a sport. It is a sport, and here's why. I was sitting there, and I believe it was Sunday, and it was after the race. I'd gotten home from Noe. I'd watched the race. I was waiting for something else to come on, and I'm just scrolling through the thing, and I come down to the ESPN Ocho. Okay, I never watch anything on ESPN Ocho, but the title got me. Air Guitar Championship. It got me. It drew me in. Did you guys realize, first of all, that there was competition air guitar out there? And the announcer said, this is one of the greatest sports out there, the sports of air guitar. And I watched for about, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes till every IQ point I had been drained from my brain. Have you guys ever watched an air guitar championship? Now, they had props and everything, but basically it's everything we do in the car when we're by ourselves, right? When we've all played air guitar before. Where we all make the faces, we bend the strings, the imaginary strings, and we act like we are whatever, like we're the next Eddie Van Halen. We've all done it. We've done it since our youth. And every one of you guys out there are guilty of it. You know, at one point in your life, you have done the air guitar. Don't even act like you haven't. It might be the country music or a banjo picking or whatever, but every single one of you have done it. Every one of you have done it. You guys can go win money doing that if you're really good at it. I mean, there was this one woman on there, and she was the 2019 United States air guitar champion, and she was competing. I have never in my life thought about air guitar as a sport, but I guess you know what? It made me think this has to come out of the age of air fishing is a sport. Sport is a structured, let's see, reservoir runner. Sport, let me pull this back up. Ah, crud, I hit the wrong one right here. Let's do this. Sport is a structured, often competitive activity involving physical exertion and skill governed by rules or customs. Yep, bass fishing is a sport, and so is air guitar. Chris, no, what about roof ball? Okay, and he saw it too. He said, I saw it and I was amazed. Baines fishing, like lip syncing with your hands. It is. But these guys were getting paid to air guitar. And I'm sitting there thinking, you guys know how I am. I grew up in the 80s. I've air guitared to the best, right? I have air guitared to the best songs that ever existed. But I also think this is a result of the participation generation. This is what went through my brain. Back in the 80s, you picked teams. If you got picked last, you got picked last. It didn't matter. Okay, wait, but you knew you was going to be on the team eventually. If you didn't win first place or second place or go to All-Stars, you didn't get trophies. And at some point, I believe at some point, the kids that didn't get picked started their own sports. They started their own sport leagues because now gaming is a sport, right? Now air guitar is a sport. Cup stacking is a sport. Hell, Rubik's Cubes are a sport. If you can't bet on it, it's a hobby, but you can bet on it. But I think this is a result of the participation time period we went through. Now, it happened pretty much after I got out of school because I graduated in 1990. Somewhere between 1990 and let's say 2005, it all became participation, right? And if you didn't get picked on the team or you weren't great at a sport, hell, you just start your own. Uh, you guys, wiping your butt is going to be a sport. At some point, everything in this world is going to be a sport, and it's going to be for the ones that just. I believe, I just believe it's a result of that generation or that time period. You know, because my dad would always say, "Well, hell, do better next time, and you'll get the trophy." Right? If I'd have told my dad, "All right, listen," because my dad was baseball. That was my sport. That was my connection with my dad. That and fishing. But I'm sitting there trying to think of the look on my Marine. My dad was a Marine on just in his eyes, because trust me, Lord knows I've seen him plenty of time when I did things wrong. But there was a couple of things that he would not allow. Earrings were one of them. Lord knows I'm not going to tell you what came out of his mouth. The conversation we had about earrings. I don't have a problem with them. I'm just telling you, my dad did, and other stuff. Like you did your chores before you did everything else. There was lists and rules that we had to abide by. And if you didn't, you got the tar beat out of you. And there's not been too many spankings I ever got in my life that I didn't deserve, but I got plenty of them because I deserved a lot of them. But I could see my dad, I could see his face right now if I came up to him and said, "Dad, I didn't make the baseball team, but I'm going to create my own sport. I'm going to create competitive crocheting or something like that." Hell, I don't know. I could just see my grandfather and my dad's face if I told them that. But now you go to ESPN Yocho and you can compete in air guitar. And when I say guys just playing an imaginary instrument, that's exactly what was going on. They were making their faces were contorted. They had like liquids in their mouth. They're trying to do like the LeBron clap when he does the dust. They're just spitting it up like the Gene Simmons raining blood. Like they're trying not to just like they're squeezing in. They're afraid they're going to shart. I mean, these faces were contorted and the hands were going everywhere. And they had judges. They had judges. 5.8, 5.9, originality and all that. I was like, I have seen it all now, boys. Come, Jesus, come. I have seen it all. Bullying needs to be brought back to an extent. Bullying used to be a thing that prevented a lot of this. You guys, that's funny as all get go. Is cornhole a sport? Yeah, I guess you can bet on it. Saw air guitar and roof ball on ESPN, Chris. No, I didn't see roof ball, but I saw the air guitar. And I was just like, if you watch what I watched and you saw, and bless one guy's heart, they played the wrong song and he started jamming out, going crazy. And it wasn't even his song. And about halfway through, they caught the mistake and then they let him do his song. But he didn't care. He rocked it. It was somebody else's song. And like you could tell, like I would have known had they not stopped halfway through and then the announcer come out, "Hey, that was the wrong song. We're gonna give him the right song," because he laid into it, dude. uh Like what do you mean you think, you identify as an animal, things like it's just crazy today, guys, absolutely crazy out there. Alright, let's talk about fishing. Air guitar is a sport, unbelievable. That is you talking about a sport for the non-athletic person in your life. You can make a run at the air guitar if you wanna do that. Danny, have you seen the kids in fursuits acting like dogs running on all fours? And Mike says, "Hell, living is a sport." No, I mean, I've seen it on the news. I've seen it on the news. I can tell you what would happen to that kid back in the 80s. Somebody getting stuffed in a locker. Somebody is getting in a locker. If they can call that power slap, here's a good one too. Here's an absolutely good one. Jeremiah Giles. If they can call that power slap stuff a sport, I don't think you have to build a very strong case for fishing. Now, listen, and I've watched that power slap stuff too, and that don't listen. Again, product of the 80s. That was a weekly basis, guys. Especially if you back talked your mama back then. I love my mama. But I have had my jaws jacked by my mama. I have had cans of chunky chicken thrown at me, wood spoons, you name it. That power slap, nah. But again, it's kind of like, man, it's kind of like I don't get into the MMA stuff. A lot of you guys like. I'm an old school boxing guy. Um, but I can't dig the chicks slapping each other in the face. I can't watch them fight each other, get all bloody. I don't know. There's just something about me that just I don't I can't get into that. But yeah, let's just stand there, straight across from each other, and just slap the tar out of each other. And whoever can take it wins. It's insane to me. Absolutely insane to me. I'd rather see you do the cheese or the taco slap or whatever it is. But yeah, listen, and real quick, we're getting ready to get into fishing. I think the way I'm going to punish my kids is hauling pebbles to another spot in the yard, one small bucket at a time. Let me tell you what my dad did. True story, no lie. If I pissed him off, he'd say, "Go clean up the woods." No lie. If me and my brother made my dad mad, you can bet your ass that Saturday morning we was up at the butt crack of dawn, go clean them woods. And he would make us pick up every stick in the woods and pile them up for the sole purpose of him and my grandfather to sit around, light a fire, and drink a beer. That's what they do, or that's what they did. Uh, but I had to go clean the woods one stick at a time. And God bless my soul. If there was poison ivy, my dad didn't care. I'm the most well, I was. I got poison ivy so much when I was young. My face would swell up, my eyes shut. Good grief, I've had gallons and gallons of calamine lotion to where I look like a zombie on my face. Now I just go to the doctor and get a shot in the ass, but back then it was calamine lotion, and you just basically itched for a week and a half until it got till it went away. And hell, it was always during the summertime, right when it was hot as crap. Stuff spread like wildfire. All right, let's see here. Let's pull up. We're gonna talk fishing real quick. I'll get into it. Let's pull up Nathan's comment right there. Hey, Danny, I just got a Bass Tracker Classic and I'm overwhelmed with electronics. Do y'all have any tips on good units and what brand? Well, first of all, congratulations on getting you a boat. Congratulations on getting you a boat finally. Now, everybody's got their own opinions on electronics. Some are going to say Garmin, some are going to say Lowrance, you name it. It depends on what you like. What I would do, I'd go to Bass Pro Shop or one of your local tackle stores that's got them. I'd look at them, but I'll give you some advice, and it's based upon my experience this past weekend because my brother-in-law has a Lowrance unit on the front of his boat. Do not make this mistake. He's got active target and all that, but he's got a 7-inch screen. All right. You can't scope. If you want to get in a scope game, you can't do it on a 7-inch screen. I just stayed in the back of the boat all day. I didn't even bother going up there and looking. He's like, hell, I don't see no bait. Well, hell, no wonder. I don't see any fish in these brush tops. Well, that's because you can't. You can see one occasionally. It's just get a good screen. Get a bigger screen if you can afford it. But one of them guys in the comments section, yeah, and also too, if you're going to get a Garmin, get the one with the bite button. All right. And if you don't know what the bite button is, call Garmin Electronics and say, hey, listen, I want the unit that's got the bite button. And when they say, what's the bite button? You said the one that's guaranteed to make the fish bite, the bite button. All right. But you got to go with the bigger screen. And that's the only thing. And Clint says right there, no smaller than a 10-inch for a forward-facing sonar. And you can call Trent up at Sonar Pros. He'll set you up too like that. It was, and again, you get what you can afford, right? But he got this unit together, and the guy had a 7-inch screen. He said, I'll take it. No, it's absolutely, can you scope with it? Yeah, I'm sure you can. Effectively, no. No. Not effectively. You cannot. I mean, hell, 2D sucks on a 7-inch or smaller screen. But I realize there's guys, that's all you can afford, and you get what you can afford. I understand. I've done the 7-inch screen before, but I can tell you right now, I got a Mega Live out. Not the Mega Live. I got the 360 out there, and I got a 9-inch helix, it's on it. It's not big enough. There are guys better than me that can tell all the 9-inch is not big enough. So I say go bigger. Get the biggest screen you can afford. Not no damn big screen TV, nothing like that, but get the biggest screen that you can afford so that you can effectively use what you spent your hard-earned money on. Because if you're going to ever get in the tournaments, you ain't out scoping anybody with a 7-inch screen. Seriously, but you get what you can afford, right? Well, I'm sorry. It says all right, we lost connection and now we're reconnected. Sorry about that, guys. I'm not sure what happened there, but we're back. Um, but anyway, definitely do the best that you can get. And be proud of whatever it is you can get. Now listen, William's proud of that daggone 7-inch screen. He is, and he should be. That's all he can afford or whatever. But yeah, you need 12 to 16-inch minimum for forward facing sonar. 10-inch screen has a better picture quality for me, but I love my 12-inch better. If you're sitting close and not standing, you can get away with the 10. And again, you might just want 2D or down scan, and that might be all you want to do or what you can get right now. Get it, but just get the biggest screen you can. That's my advice. And the guys in the comment section are far more intelligent about it than I am. Now, fishing Saturday on Lake Lanier. For me, sucked. First of all, we went out of young deer. This is an electric only tournament. Now, due to a little emergency, we're fishing out of Williams' bass boat. Now, Williams' lower end went out. I have a John boat that I'm rigging and everything that once I get it done, I'll be able to zoom. I mean, I'll be able to pull it pretty good, but it's not ready yet. So we had to use Williams' boat. Now, Williams' boat has a 24-volt trolling motor on the front, and we had an extra 40-pound thrust trolling motor, and we stuck it on the back. So needless to say, we were not able to go. And we had to stay in the Young Deer area. And it's that water is so clear. It's been a long time since I've been on Lake Lanier and I've seen water that clear. I don't have an official measurement of the depth, but I promise you could see down. I saw at one point the console screen showed that we were in 13 to 15 foot of water, and I promise you guys, I could see the bottom. I could see the bottom. Now we started off with rain and cloud and some wind and everything. So we popped three fish quick. I caught one on a PB&J rock crawler 55. Missed a couple on a jerk bait. They were hitting it funny. They really weren't like attacking it, but William caught a couple on a Zoom Houdini Cinco style worm. Some kind of worm he had. It was a Zoom. And we caught those fairly quick. And then it's 9:30. We're like, all right, they're chomping today. Water temp was 55. We saw water temps from 54 to 56, right at 56. And, when they bite like that early, you're like, it sets your mental aspect for the day. Triple G 1967 on TikTok says, "Go big on the screen, or you wish you did." Yeah, 100% Triple G, and that's what the guys over here on YouTube are basically saying. And I'll get to your fishing reports. Some of you guys telling me what you caught them on, but you guys hear me joke all the time saying I'm the king of the 2-pound spotted bass on Lake Lanier, and that's because generally I can go to Lake Lanier and the entire time get bit and catch 2-pound spotted bass all damn day on a shaky head, a wacky worm, Nico, those three. I don't have to throw anything else. Guys, I did not get a single bite all day long. And we fished that tournament from 7:30 to 2:30. I did not get a single bite on a Nico. I did not get a single bite on a shaky head. William was getting bit occasionally on that Houdini color. Maybe it was a color thing. But when it was raining and we had a little bit of wind and some ripple, I threw a jerk bait a lot, nothing. We cranked a lot, nothing. Now, again, We didn't really minnow because, of course, 7-inch screen, right? Not the best thing to try to minnow. So we stayed shallow. Now the lake is down 5, 6 foot, something like that. And so in young deer, all your good structure, all your good blowdowns, all your good rock, it's out of the water. And so to be honest, we didn't pre-fish young deer. What it showed me was I need to get my ass out of this from behind this microphone and out there on the water a lot more. But it was tough for us. Now the guys that finished well went out of the mouth of young deer. They were able. They had the motors. They got out away from it. It was won by scoping. Uh, just under 20 pounds won it. But not everybody caught them deep like that. I know. I believe Tim White and Justin was telling me they caught them shallow, some shallow running crankbaits. But just where we was at, it did not work, and it was very frustrating. Like when I can't go to Lake Lanier and get bit on a worm, just bit. I'm not. I don't even feel okay. Just bit. It is so frustrating, and that's exactly what it was for us. The rain kind of parted out about I don't know around lunchtime, and listen, the weather guys. Like I saw 4 different weather forecasts Friday night, and 3 out of the 4 said the rain was going to be gone early, like 7, 8 o'clock, and the other guy said after like 7, 8 o'clock, a chance for a passing shower. My ass, because it rained like crazy on us from about I don't know 11:30. I mean, it wasn't no passing shower; it was full blown rain, but it didn't have time to stain up the water or do anything. Now let's see what the other guys were saying, and we'll get back on what I was saying. Um, I know I saw a couple of you guys up there. If you get up there, some of you guys put what you were saying, and I missed it. Let's see. Okay, Coleman. I found a unique pattern. They were in bowls near blow-throughs. Had almost 16 pounds. Nothing crazy, but a fun day. Also found some shallow schools that chewed the rock crawler. I only got one bite on a rock crawler, and I threw it a lot. All my fish the other day were on a minnow, other than a rock crawler. And again, we were going to try to minnow fish, and I knew we had forward facing, but once I got on the boat, I was like, sometimes you show up, you got a plan, and then you see what you're working with, and I was like, nah, that's out the window. Shoal Creek right now has like 15 plus feet of visibility. It was incredibly clear, incredibly clear. Um, let's see, Jeremiah, all the prep work we all talked about, and the fishing still sucked. It did for me. Now, for some, it didn't. But I will say this: the winning team that had right at 20. Now, unless he's sandbagging, I don't know. He said they only got a few bites. It's not like they went out there and they had a 50 fish day. Very few bites. And everybody, even the guys that had some good weight, all said it was pretty tough. Now, I know some guys were throwing the corkies and the unis. I know one gentleman said he caught some fish skipping a uni under a dock. But all in all, it was like, yeah. Ken Pruitt came out there to the weigh in. I was like almost embarrassed that he showed up. I mean, I was always good to see Ken. But it was one of them days like, hey, you can't come to we didn't even get a limit. That's embarrassing to say, but I have to be honest. Some days are like that. We didn't even get a limit. There were other teams that didn't get a limit. Could we, if we've been able to go out a little farther? Maybe. I don't know. We fished like hell. It's just one of those days, right? Everybody has them. Just one of them days. Cam said he saw 58 on tuna Saturday evening. It's about that time. And you guys are still talking a lot on the thing. The shallow fish have been really weird, Tyler said, for him. And it was for me. It's things that I thought would work, didn't work. Geiger said, now you had an earlier comment I must have missed. Everything we caught was from 12 foot to 1 foot of water. But we caught probably 10 to 15 fish. Well, I thought, too, listen, I threw a jig. I threw a shaky head. I skipped the weightless under some docks, especially shallow docks. Nothing. It was so bad. I questioned I didn't spin out because I don't spin out. I'm not a damn professional angler, so I don't make my money fishing. So I didn't spin out at all. But I was questioning myself quite a few times. Like, Danny, have you forgotten how to fish? And the answer is no. But it was that kind of day for us. Minna on a 7-inch screen would be tough. It would be. Now Messick, and we're talking South Carolina here, bigger largemouth for me has been biting until about 11 a.m. After that, it's a long, long, long lull. Well, we must have had a good bite window between, I don't know, 8:30 and 9 o'clock because we got bites then. We got bites then, and I figured that bite window would come around again, but not for us. It was just, and we had a plan, and there was some big bass boats come through. Like we had a start place we wanted to start. Now this particular club, they start a little later than your typical club, so we didn't really zoom off till 7:30. But while we're sitting out there, I'm watching this bass boat come by, and he goes right over to where we wanted to start. And I was like, and he didn't leave. So you never know what could have happened. But now we got enough bites that we could have done better, but we didn't. Tyler said I've not had luck on a worm since December. Really, the minnow bites have been really good lately. And if you're presenting your minnow right, that clear water really benefits you. You don't have to be accurate for them to chase your minnow. Uh, what's up, James Ramsey? Good seeing you over at the Noe show. Always a good time. He's going to take me to fish Carter's if I can ever make my schedule work. I've never fished Carter's, and I'm looking forward to getting on that lake with him. Um, Coleman said he didn't have a fish till it was like 9 a.m. And you know what? A lot of guys said that, Coleman. A lot of guys were our bites came early. A lot of guys didn't have a bite, didn't get good bites or anything till after 1 o'clock. So whatever they were fishing when that rain moved out, whatever it was that they were doing when that rain moved out, they were able to absolutely get on them. By the time the rain moved out, we were having to work our way back because we didn't have the battery or the motor power to stay out there. And it was just kind of like everywhere we wanted to go, somebody was sitting on it. But don't get me wrong, we fished a bunch of rocky points. And when I say fish, we ain't talking the Emil Wagner drop your sonar, look and go. We fished them, man. Nothing, nothing, which I thought was crazy. Tyler's going to swing for the fences and try to win the barns this weekend. Well, hell, why not? If you're going to fish it, you go for the win, right? The bite window were really tight and strong on Saturday. That's kind of what we thought. Now, Cam said that, and he's fishing Alatoona for you guys. We caught him on a jig, shaky, and chatterbait, but spent from 2 to 6 with nothing. But once 6 p.m. came around, they started chewing Main Lake points and docks in less than 10 foot of water. Good report right there, Cam. Now, Geiger said the wind was exceptionally rough Sunday on Hartwell. And that was one thing we really didn't have on Lanier that I heard a lot of guys say. We had some ripple, but we really didn't have enough wind. I heard several of the guys in the tournament say we needed more wind. Maybe that was the difference. See, last Monday I found my fish deep scope, and went back Friday, and everything went to the bank. Started throwing my red chatterbait with a freeloader, and instantly found them in the backs. Damn, I wish we would have had some luck like that. Um, well, it could have been some operator error. For being honest, I didn't have, it could have been some operator error, but that was one of the things that we looked for. But anybody will tell you this too, that fish that tournament, bait was totally hard to find. And again, we're talking young deer specific here. Not talking all of Lake Lanier. We're talking young deer, just the young deer area, because that's the only part I got to fish. Balls of bait, we may have seen one. The entire day. But to be honest, we were beating the banks a lot too. But when we were scoping and looking and going across, even in the timber, now I don't know if it was a screen or whatever. It did. Don't get me wrong. I teased with the 7, but it did show the timber and all that. But I didn't see them blinker fish, and I didn't see balls of bait or anything. Mike says, Danny, I question myself all the time. Seems like every time I go fishing, I try to figure out if I remember how to fish. Buddy, I'm telling you, it was. Listen, the questioning of myself was strong Saturday. Now, don't get me wrong. Afterwards, I was like, what the hell? I like talking to the guys. I enjoy the camaraderie of the electric only community for the most part. So getting to see some guys that I knew that I liked and all that, it was really cool. So, but on the water, dude, I was like, when I go hours Slow drag. Guys, this was so bad I pulled out a Carolina rig. I didn't even have a Carolina rig rod, a proper Carolina rig rod. I was that desperate that I finally just rigged up one of my rods with a little lighter weight Carolina rig, put a 4-inch zoom watermelon red flake lizard, and I just drug it slow on every flat I could find. Drug it. I threw that thing everywhere. Not a bite. That's how bad it was for me. I questioned myself a lot. When you start rigging up rods with stuff you know you ain't supposed to be throwing them on, it's one of those days, right? Um, Pickwick was covered up with angler's choice practice, over 300 boats. I went to a different lake and it was terrible for me. 2 followers on the big glide, that's all. Yeah, you have them days, don't you? Some lakes just can't fish with that many boats on there. I totally get it. My goal for our first Sunday club was just getting 2 bites before the lull, and I got them. My first broke my chatterbait off, and my second when my old lady hooked my crankbait on the outside of the net. I love it, old lady. I only caught crappie Saturday in my yak. Caught enough for tacos on an Echo and 3/32 queenhead. When I was loading up, I saw one bass busting on bait. It was weird, man. Tony's in the house. Tony, good job last night. Appreciate you doing what you do. You guys listen. Hey, every Monday night, Tony's, content creation, fishing, a little bit of this, social media stuff, a little bit of everything on that show. Tony's really good at it. So if you guys, especially if you got your own YouTube or you're thinking about doing that, some content stuff, you need to watch Tony's show. Uh did anybody else's audio die or was it just Messick? I don't know. I don't know. Where was War Eagle the best? Good question here. How often do you have bad days like this when you can't catch 5 scoreable bass uh, by me versus 20 plus scoreable bass a day? War Eagle the best. I fall in the middle. I fall in the middle. I I'll get lucky every once in a while and I'll have one of them good bags. The majority of the time, I will say me and my partner, we're seventh, 12th. We're middle of the road. But to go days like I had this past Saturday, they're pretty few and far between. It's one thing to catch 5 and come in with a limit and they be small and all that. It's another thing because I mean we had a 3.5 pound spot. We had one just under 3, and then we had a little dink like a 1/8. So I mean and the fish were healthy looking. They were all smaller fish and healthy looking. But to go, I guess a couple of the electric only lakes have treated me like that in the past. Rocky Mountain being one of them because it can be very, very tough. But that don't happen often on Lanier. On Lanier, generally, you can catch a limit. So big lake, no, it don't happen often. Electric only lake, it can happen. But again, like I said, I don't pay my mortgage by winning tournaments, so it's like screw it. But I will tell you this: you guys know I talked about it. I take 2 cans of dip for each tournament. It's my only superstition I got, and it ain't a superstition. But I'll start off with one. It's a straight flavored or a wintergreen, and whichever one I'm catching fish on, I'll keep that one in until that flavor in. I went through basically 2 cans of daggum grizzly by the end of that tournament. It was rough. All my fish have been in 100 to 65 feet of water, Tyler said. Deep, dude. Deep. The southern creeks haven't had as much bait, but a lot of it is herring instead of threadfin. Now, Aaron wanted to know, didn't they find that car in Young Deer? They found it at Tidwell Park, unfortunately. Tidwell Park, I believe. The Tidwell Park boat ramp, I believe is where that's at. I don't know what happened, guys. Why some of you ain't got audio and some of you said I'm not synced up. I really don't know. I'm sure it's Restream or something. I actually, on my side, it said lost connection for a second and it kicked back on. So maybe something with the internet. I was surprised when you said I was throwing a jig. Yeah, I tried everything. Now, Coleman, a success story. The kid I guided finished top 15 out of 225 doing exactly what I showed him in the exact location I showed him. That is a success. That's pretty cool when that happens and it works out that way, right? Now Michael Martin was also too, and a lot of people didn't say that. Get your feet wet with the Eagle 9, that one, the forward facing unit from Lowrance. I do know some guys that throw that. The only downside with the Eagle 9 is the angle of the screen that you can see. You don't get the full effect like you would if you had the Garmin or another or full-fledged forward-facing sonar unit, and I believe, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but it's under the boat. Like, you can see out, but once they get so close to the boat, you have a dead area that you can't see. Now, again, I'm not 100% correct on that. I believe that's what I was told. Um, James said he just started minnow fishing. It's been pretty fun. Caught mine on he caught a 516 spot. I get that might be is that your best personal best? Um, but yeah, minnow fishing can be fun if you got the right unit and everything. Big Dave fishing 5. What's up, Danny? I had the most luck on a rock crawler with a pause and retrieve. They seemed like they wanted that pause, that and a jig. So the bites I got on a jerk bait were more aggressive. The I did try the hit and pause. Now, here's another thing. Young deer, for some reason, it's got that snot grass in it too. I hate that stuff. I hate that stuff. So it's kind of hard to throw a rock crawler in the places that you normally would if you really wanted to dredge it and dive it. I'm lip syncing. I don't know what you guys. I guess it's bad on your guys' side. I apologize for it. Um, I know it's off topic, but did y'all see that 42-pound bag out of Santee? That lake's putting them out. We talked about that last week. Can you imagine coming in with 20 plus pounds and being not even in the top 20? Could you imagine it? Somebody said that. Somebody said that. I don't know what my wife's texting me right now, but it is what it is. Sakamata. Tyler said this, guys. If you throw the Sakamata shad, we have bad news for you. Heartbreaking news, everyone. No more Sakamatas are coming into the country until the fall. You guys are just going to have to figure out how to do it without the Sakamatas. Now, there are alternatives. We've looked at them. They're all alternatives. But you guys that are brand and War Eagle the best, I know you're one of them. I know you're one of them. He loves the Sakamatas. So since you throw a War Eagle and you love the Japanese style baits and everything, do you have an alternative to a Sakamata? I'm curious from you guys. If you can't get your hands on a Sakamata, what's the next best thing? What is the next best thing? And back during COVID, Kitech went through this too. There were a lot of the colors of Kitechs and everything that you could not get a hold of. And guys scrambled for them. They were everywhere. I remember because we had the shop back then. All right, so Coleman said, good thing we found a minnow that works better than a Sakamata. What is it, Coleman? What is the alternative? But then Tyler said, man, I've used the alternatives to the Sakamata and there's just no replacing it. Now, fishing with Fowler, anyone tried to hide up Judy fish? Now, that is one, and Spro brings those into the country. Hide Up is one of their brands underneath them. I've heard a lot of guys love that Judy fish. I have not scoped it yet. I haven't had a chance. But absolutely, I've heard nothing but good things about that. But I have not fished it yet, Fowler. I don't see what's so special about the Sakamata shad. I've had better success on the Echo, in my nimbly Wembley opinion. Well, their confidence in it, right? There are some guys that will throw nothing but a Kitech when it comes to a paddle tail. There are guys that will throw nothing but the cast. There are guys that throw the other ones. Every company's got a version of it, right? And lots of times, they get so, I don't want to say brand dependent, but brand loyal, bait loyal. I get it. They're not going to throw nothing but that. Now, Daniel says a little off topic here. Do you plan on opening a new shop and getting a place to have like a studio for the Livewell? I don't know about the shop, but long term, yes, I am trying to figure out a studio because I did enjoy the one thing about the shop that was really cool was guys getting there, being able to come in, sit down, and talk. That is the one thing I miss. It ain't stocking the shelves. It ain't trying to sell stuff, doing orders, none of that stuff. Because let's be honest, retail in fishing sucks. And that's why you guys really need to support some of these mom and pop stores. Don't get me wrong. I know there's times you got to order from Tackle Warehouse or Bass Pro. I get it. I get it. But you guys, if you realize how small the margins are on baits, you'd probably spend a lot of time buying at your mom and pop tackle shops. It might cost you 25 cents more or whatever. I'm telling you, they're not making a killing on it. They're not making a killing on it. So if all of your local, from Hammond's to Dugout to Baines to the Livewell up through there, and you got the one, what is the one out in Cartersville or whatever you got down south. Anytime you have a chance to buy from a local tackle shop and they got what you can, what you need and you can get it, even if it costs a little bit more, buy it, buy it. I promise you, you'll be helping them out. They need the business because guys think it's really cool, man. You got all these baits in there and all that. You got to sell volume to make money in a tackle shop. You got to sell volume. So if you guys can support your mom and pop, your local tackle shops, go to Tackle Warehouse and the big ones when you need to. But if you can without it, support the little guy. And I know that sounds like something we're supposed to say, but I've had a tackle shop. I know what the margins are. Everybody thinks because a bait costs, oh hell, I don't know, when these new baits cost $20, the guy at the tackle shop's making a killing. He ain't. He ain't. The margin is the margin is the margin throughout the whole thing, whether it's a $2 bait or a $20 bait. So there is not a lot of you know what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying? Anytime you have a small company that's got a cool idea, what's that stuff I had out right here. Remember that Smart Express say Fish Nerd Labs? We used some of that Saturday. It's a fantastic product, and they got the Smart Soak for the live well. We had that in the live well. Now you could go buy that from a similar style product. It won't be as good, but you can buy it from a bigger company. But we had a chance to support a smaller company that's got a really good product that's in fact better than the bigger companies. Go buy it. Go buy it. I love mom and pop stores. You need to, and whether it's hunting or fishing or whatever. Let's see what I missed. The dugout bait and tackles are great. Jamie Koza, he was at the Noe show. I like Jamie. He's a good dude. He is a good dude. Uh, I bought my rock crawlers from Dreamcatcher Fishing Supply and Guide Service in Sylvia, North Carolina. It seemed local to us, and I don't think they're even in business anymore, right? Are they? I think I didn't. Didn't he sell it and decide to go chase a social media thing? Joe Bennett on Facebook. How you doing, buddy? I like to support the little guy. Jamie at the dugout and the guys at the tackle barn. Yeah, and I got to meet the owner of the tackle barn too at Noe, and that was pretty cool. Oh, Fish Nerd Labs. Hey, he's on TikTok. No, you're welcome, dude. It worked very well. Now, listen, I mean, this stuff right here, seriously, go to his website and check it out. It does work. I know some of you guys like to pour Mountain Dew down your damn fish's throat. I know you like to do that, and we old timers think it works. This stuff right here is formulated to actually work, and it's good for the fish. Don't ask me about the science. He's smarter. You can ask him over there at Fish Nerd Labs. But if you are going to look for an alternative to a Sakamata and all that, check out some of your smaller companies and see what they got as well. And I will tell you what the worst margins are in a tackle shop, and this is true. Electronics. Y'all think because somebody's got a $3,000 system that, oh man, that shop is making a killing on it. The smallest margins in all fishing that I have found in any aspect of a tackle shop was electronics. And here's why. Number one, the electronic manufacturers set the price. If you guys notice, Unless somebody has a sale, let's just pull up any graph and let's say you pull it up at Bass Pro Shop, it's $15.99, and you pull it over at this one, it's 15. That's because the company sets the price. And if you advertise it, you have to advertise it at that company price. There's not a lot of meat on the bone because it goes through a distributor. And then the distributor gets his cut, and I'm just telling you, they're not making it. Uh anyway, but yeah, support the little guys in that. Now Mountain Dew, I don't know if Mountain Dew works if it just scalds it. I don't know that it's great for the fish though. I don't know that it's great for the fish's health long term. Anyone remember the trading post in Lawrenceville? I do not. I do not remember that. You're a little older than I am, big dog. It might be a little bit before my time. Uh, the dugout has the koikis out the wazoo. Go sell them out. Now, listen, guys were fishing them, and I was listening to some of the ways they were fishing. Some were skipping them up under docks and all that. Some were scoping with them. And the ones that, if I remember correctly, the guys that I talked to that were scoping with them, here's what they were doing: chunking it out, letting it fall all the way to the bottom. The fish were following them all the way down to the bottom. Pop, pam. You know what I'm saying? It was very simple. Very simple. And I'm not saying that's the way. I'm just telling you what the guys were reporting to me. Let's see here. The mom and pop shops still have discontinued baits and colors hanging on the walls that you can't get anymore. I've been pleasantly surprised at many of them for sure. Yeah, because you just can't send it all back. Guys, the Buka booth talked me into one of those herring glides. Excited to try it. So you out there, was it did Mike talk you into it, or did Big Bait John talk you into it? I saw the Buka booth at Noe. His stuff's impressive. His stuff's impressive. If you're one of those guys like to throw those big ass glides, swim baits like that, they got that 11-inch and all that. Hey, you guys do it. If that's your game, do it. That's not my game. I could have used 4 of those in the Livewell the other day. That's how big some of the baits he has are. Are any of y'all coming to the Noe Outdoors in Greensville? I am not now. And the best way to rig the corky is the Nico rig hook and a 1/16 Noe. Actually, I caught one on Friday on it. And he says, "Old John, Big Bait John, got him." I'll say this. Listen, can I tell you this about John? And you never know what you're going to get in a booth, because you have guys that get free stuff from some companies and they go stand in a booth and they represent and they do that. He believes in Buka stuff to the point of being almost like a cult member. He loves that stuff. He absolutely believes it. I can say this: if Big Bait John tells you he likes a bait and he's willing to go stand there, because he idolizes Mike Buka. He absolutely believes in and I got to talk to Mike too while I was there. But Big Bait John, honestly, if he tells you it was a good one, believe him. He stowed it. But you never know what you're gonna get on some of them. Some of the guys. They'll be out there and they'll say, "Hey, this is great. This is great," and they're there. Not with Big Bait John. And if you were at the Buka booth and he talked to you, that boy eats, sleeps, whatever, big swim baits, and Buka is his favorite by far. 11-inch is insane, but you would be shocked that a 3-pound spot would eat an 8-inch bait, and they will. Now, again, it's not my cup of tea on how to fish. It's one thing that I said I was going to try to get into a little more this year, but not my cup of tea. Such a good guy to be around. He showed me around the Noe show. He is good. He's a good dude. He is a good dude. Now, tonight, and for you guys on TikTok, same thing. Tonight, 8 o'clock, come back, because we're going to have the Surge Squad tonight. Okay, we're going to have Emil Wagner, Paul Marks Jr., Andrew Loberg, Tucker Smith on. It's going to be a good time. And you guys listen, even on TikTok, if you throw a question out there for the boys, I'm gonna try to give them an answer. Finesse fishing used to be frowned upon. I know, Patricia Lee and Sean, 100%. 100%. And now it's the norm. And I think power fishing is making a comeback, though. Because we had that time when everybody's finesse fishing. Everybody's finesse fishing. Except your diehard power guys. But a lot of guys, say I can do both, but they spent more time doing the finesse stuff. I think now some of the power techniques are coming back. Um, Emil going to give us some spotted bass juice. We'll see. Now, listen, don't discount Paul Marks Jr. If we can get him to talk, I think listen, they're all fishing the classic. They're all on the elites. Now, Loberg, I think he's from California, right? But Paul Marks Jr. and Mill cut their teeth on spotted bass for the most part. Tucker can catch them too. They all can catch them. But yeah, if we can get some out of it, we're going to try to. That's the whole goal of it. But also too is like they're really, they room together, so it's always cool to see the interaction between guys that room together, how much information they share, who does the cooking, who is the one that snores. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting to see the life that the majority of us are not going to see ever. Loberg is the old man of the group. He is, right. Ever seen Denny Brower with a spinning rod? No, not that I can remember. Not that I can remember. But it ought to be a good show. And then again, if we're able to do the Nick Brown's with his household and get Hank Cherry on tomorrow night, and then we got Stefan on Thursday. Guys, there's opportunity here for you to ask questions. Now, again, if you say, hey, what color fluke are you throwing in this? They're probably not going to tell you. Okay, because they make their living catching fish. They're not going to give up everything. We got to go into that knowing it. But if you can get some generalizations, right? I would have took any generalization I could have found Saturday that would help me catch fish. Didn't know Paul was going to be there. That's cool. Yeah, Paul's the quiet one of the group. Dude, he's an assassin. He can catch them. He's got the trophy already, right? He's got that trophy. They better tell me how to bulk order my favorite minnow. We'll see what we can do with that. But it's going to be a cool show. It's going to be cool. And like we just had a meal scheduled. The meal hit us up, said, hey, they all want to be on. I'm like, well, hell yeah, let's do it. So, all right. Yeah, we've got about an hour. So, like in 7 hours, you guys come back and join us. I've got a ton of work to do. Back on the meds, man. Now I can concentrate. I'm ready to go. I've been rocking and rolling. But we're gonna have a good show for you guys tonight. So listen, don't work too hard today, and come back, tonight. Join us, have a good time. We'll be doing a live lunch break again tomorrow, and I'm sure tomorrow we're probably going to go over a lot of the things that we heard that we will hear tonight. A lot of comments and all that. We'll look forward to that and all that. So, anyway, guys, I'm going to go back to work. You guys go back to work. If you're on the water, be safe. Don't work too hard today. If you're outside, hey, try to stay warm as best you can. The warm weather's coming back. I think we got a line of thunderstorms coming back in this Thursday, but I don't think we got any cold weather. And look, we could be those jokers up there in New York and all that getting like feet of snow. Could you imagine what would happen here in the South if we got feet of snow? I know we had the blizzard of '93 and it was rough and all that, and it was pretty heavy and all that. But could you imagine getting feet of snow here in North Georgia with cold weather on top of it and 2 more opportunities of snow this week? That's what the people up in the Northeast are dealing with. Now, granted, they're more suited for it, but not feet of snow. Nobody's suited for feet of snow. Yes, Clayton. I'm ready now. I'm ready. But anyway, you guys be good, be safe. Come see us tonight, and have a good rest of your day. We'll talk to you tonight with the Surge Squad. So you guys.